Yo, what's good? Welcome back to Past the Six. I'm your host, JB. Joining me as always, Tsunamic Wave. What's
Yep.
going on, bro?
I can't complain, man. I'm feeling good, man. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yo, appreciate y'all sticking with us, man. I know we had a late start. This one is on me. Folks, little ones will start getting sick at the last minute, right before showtime, so I had to square that away. But it's all good, man. Everything good. Appreciate y'all as always. So, Wave, you got a lot to talk about today, man. Xbox might be sending one of their heavy hitters to PlayStation. We also got some retro games to talk about as always, which brings me to this. If you're new to the show is split into four parts. We start out with games we're currently playing. Then from there, we're going to this week in gaming, talk about games that dropped throughout this week in history. Then from there, we'll get into some topics, and then we'll end with the spin wheel. One gotta go game versus all types of stuff. So with that said, Wave, what games y'all been playing?
Man, I've been playing a lot of Tekken. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm still a little I'm still a little starstruck, you know what I'm saying, to say that. Well, I guess that's the best way I could put it.
Sure.
Just getting beat up by, certain characters that I haven't seen in a while. Um Besides that though, I put a little work in the Power World. I played this game called Hawked. I don't know if people familiar with this game. It's like a treasure hunting BR.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I've been playing that a little bit. It's pretty dope. I re-downloaded Destiny 2. I haven't put in any work into that yet, but it's 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 in the archives. You know what I mean? So is I'm gonna get to that in a couple of weeks or so. But I just wanted to put that out there because I don't think we've heard the name Destiny 2 in a long time.
That is very true. At least I haven't. So like I feel you 100%. For me, I played did I talk about Princess Peach Showtime last week? The demo. I think I
Yeah,
did. Okay.
yeah.
So I played little bit of that. No need to get more into that being that it's just the demo. I played some WWE 2K24. I played some Super Mario Maker. Shout out to the Swift one. I've also played. I know I'm missing something.
Super Mario Maker, the joint where you can make your own like board, right?
Yep. Oh, Pokemon Sun. I know I talked about that last week as well. Still playing that. It's way I'm back like and throwing the Pokemon world, man. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I stay away just because I know how addicting it can be. But like, bro, every minute of free time I got right now is just handheld. Like, you know what I mean? Playing
Right.
Pokemon Sun. So, but yeah, yo, let's get to the comments and then let's get on to this week in gaming. Mo, the question mark, like, where y'all at?
We here,
Joe
man.
Budden said to Drake, like, been waiting 3 weeks. Where y'all at? Game of Live looks it's about damn time. Yo, ain't you a Steelers fan, man? Shout out to Russell Wilson. Just like I said, he was going to the Steelers. I don't know if you was there on that show particular, but I said Russell Wilson was going to the Steelers. Did I not, Wave? Did I
Well,
not say
yeah,
he
you
was
can
going
have
to
him, man. Just
the
want to put that out
Steelers?
there. Okay, y'all can have him. I ain't
Most said must be on tape. They're like, yo, y'all crazy, yo. Hey, man, stuff happens. Stuff happens. Just how everyone was going on.
Yep, yep.
Most said open City Skylines 2 for a few minutes yesterday, but haven't had the chance to really game. Understandable.
Yeah, you
Understandable.
got a lot going on, brother.
Right.
Konnichiwa.
Jeremiah said State of Decay 2. Okay. I haven't had a chance to play that one. Did you, Wave?
Yeah, I ran it with my boy a few times, man.
Yeah.
I was just telling him this yesterday. That's funny that he even brought it up. That like I did enjoy playing it, but it's not really my cup of tea, man. It's a
Right.
cool game though for what it is. I ain't gonna lie. I did have a lot of fun.
It's fair. It's fair. Like I said, I do want to try it. I just haven't had a chance to. Game of
Right.
Live, like I said, I called that 6 months ago. I mean, hey, man. Hey, I thought it was just blatantly obvious, to be honest. But
Good
hey,
luck for him though.
he also says still on Warzone and now Simpsons tapped out. Okay. How's Warzone looking, man? I haven't had a chance to play that in a while. How's Warzone looking, especially since Warfare 3 dropped? Most said the
Still
DS
looking the
era
same.
of Pokemon was goated. I'm seeing that. Like, yo, Wave, there's so much to do in this game, man. And obviously, you know how to play because you know how to play basic Pokemon games, but yet
Right.
they keep doing it. Like, nah, it's a lot of fun. Ashley Larry said Yoshimitsu.
Oh, that's a reference to me from Tekken. That's who I mainly play with. It's like my main character on Tekken.
So, oh, I forgot to see last week. Like, you still playing on the gamepad?
Yeah, absolutely. What? I'm not. I
How's
don't
that
think
going?
it's going real good, man. It's making me feel like a combo expert over here. It's a little bit easier to remember the combos on here, and I got big fingers, so it's easier to
Right.
press the buttons too. Like I could do certain things uh without slipping and pressing two buttons at the same time. You know what I mean?
I feel you. Jay Zapata said Sea of Thieves. That's a classic right there. What was that? The Xbox One era, right?
Nah, well, Sea of Thieves. I think that's still on Game Pass. I'm not.
Well, yeah, it's
That's
still
not.
on Game Pass, but it came out in the Xbox One era. I'm like pretty sure. Could
I
be
believe
wrong, but
so. I never got into it though, so I'm not even gonna lie.
Game Lag said pretty understood how much love Tomlin get. He is a player's coach. He is. Levante Armour was good, bro. He said replaying Kakarot. Again, shout out to
That game is fire.
Mr. Toriyama who passed away, man. I know we made a post about it, Wave, but obviously I know him mostly through Dragon Ball, of course. So you have any thoughts on that real quick?
I mean, it's sad, but
Yeah.
he did live a good life. He gave us some. He touched the world, in a way that a lot of
Right.
people haven't through manga and anime. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So R.I.P. man.
Absolutely. Rest in peace. Daryl Miner said big fingers is crazy.
Yeah, man. You know how it is if you got big fingers, bro. It's just
one of them shows, man. I can already tell it's gonna be one of them shows. The variations go okay. Most said it's in the morning, so it's Ohio, I think. Ohio.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
He said, correction. I did have sex with Katie. Yo, that's crazy. All right, yo, let's get into this week in gaming, man. Briefly look back on games that dropped throughout this week in history. And Wade, we kicking this one off, man, with kind of a controversial one in terms of the series, but I'm a fan of it. Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes, man. This game dropped back in 2004. It's celebrating 20 years, man. What's your thoughts on Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes?
I mean, I like Metal Gear Solid but I'm not really like a huge fan of the franchise, man. Like I'm more of a kick the door down, guns blazing kind of guy, and this is more like a stealthy. You don't get too much ammo. You got to kind of have a plan in every situation. And quite honestly, when this came out when I was younger, I was not into that. I wasn't trying to think too much about the games. I just wanted to have senseless fun. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, so I know this one is. I mean, obviously they're saying it doesn't hold up to, especially I say what them first two. I think first one, especially the first one. But look, man, I have no problem with the game per se. It's not as good as the first two. I think that's pretty obvious. But I do think it kind of gets shitted on a little too much, if that makes sense. Like I think sometimes we go overboard with it. But yeah, I really don't got much to say about this game. I did play it, but I don't know. It kind of was what it was, I guess. Let's get to the next game, man. Let's get to the next game. Next game we talk about Wave. Cold Fear. Now this is one this is one of the rare times, Wave, and I can honestly say rare times that I did not know exactly what this game was.
Right.
So 1 second. Oops. So Cold Fear dropped March 15, 2005. Developed by Darkworks. I am familiar with Darkworks, but I've never played this game, Wave. Like I said, usually I've played a good amount of games that we talk about, as have you, of course. But
Mhm.
this is one of the ones I haven't actually played. What's your thoughts on this?
I think this is probably the rare occasion where we both have not played the game,
Right.
but I did do my research, and
Yeah,
this
same. Yeah,
game kind
same.
of remind me of like a Resident Evil type game. You know what I mean? Like, uh, Resident Evil was such a big hit on the PS1. When the PS2 came out, they had to try to recapture that fire in a way. I don't think it worked though. It might have been the marketing, because I mean it
Sure.
don't look like it's a bad looking game, especially for PS2, because we've seen some nasty looking PS2 games, and this is pretty good.
Not
So
nasty.
we have though, and
You're
in
right
these
though. It's
last
just a
couple of
term that.
weeks too.
Nah,
Oh,
you're
the
right.
way
It's
I
just a
said it.
term that made me laugh. It's a nasty. That's crazy. Like,
Yeah, we see some nasty
yeah,
looking PS2 games over these last couple weeks, man. So this looked pretty good. I don't know what made it so like below the radar though. You know what I mean?
yeah. I feel you. Um, yeah. So like, this is definitely something I would check out. Again, like I don't have the runtime for the game to see how long of a game it is, but like it's definitely like something I probably would have liked at that time. I know it was heavy into sports, but I also was into shooters. You know what I mean? Like we're going to talk about a
Right.
game, Ghost Recon, that might be returning. Like I remember playing that around this time. You know what I mean? So again, like if it was a shooting game, which this obviously is, I definitely would have been into it. But yeah, let's see. Mo said looks good for a game from 2005. Yeah, like like
Yeah, dude.
it's one of the rare PlayStation games that, well, it's not just a PlayStation game, of course, but one of the rare games that actually held up all right, man. So the next game we talk about, Wave, is we are talking about God of War 2, man. Now, the file messed up, so I don't actually have the game footage of this, but I'm pretty sure we've all played God of War 2. I played them all. Um, but classic game. I had like to me, God of War is the best franchise on the PlayStation. I know I'm not going out on a limb by saying that. Um, I personally think God of War 2. Actually, I don't know because I did like Ragnarok, to be honest. God of War 2 might be the best one to me. I'm sure that's controversial, but God of War 2, I think, is except for graphically now, looking back at it, right? I
Yeah.
think that might be God of War at its best. To be completely honest with you, Wave, is probably one of the only games I actually did like on the PS3.
Mhm.
Because for me, that whole system just didn't hit. Yeah, like, but what's your thoughts on God of War 2?
I think God of War 2 was a pretty decent game. I don't think the God of War franchise is the best franchise on PlayStation though. I just want to uh, you know, talk about that real quick. I think in my opinion it might be Uncharted. B- but
Huh?
well actually, I don't know. It could be a few things. I would actually have to put some thought into that. I just said that really quickly. God of War 2 though is pretty dope. Like you said, it don't hold up graphically, but I think God of War does a good story. I mean, good story, a good job
For
putting
sure.
Kratos in different stories. You know
Right.
what I mean? Um, and yeah, they kind of always hit. So it's not really too much you could say about God of War that haven't been said all through the internet.
Yeah, like the only reason why I give it the nod because I do like Uncharted as well. So like I was being a little exaggeratory when I said it's the only game I liked on the PlayStation 3 because that's where I played it was a PS3. But I will say though, like God of War dominated on the PlayStation 2, it dominated on the PS3, the PS4, and the PS5. You know what I mean? That's kind of
Yeah,
why, like, where something like Crash Bandicoot dominated on the PS1, kind of fell off, became multi-platform, right? And we know Sony loves their exclusives. So that's why I'm giving God of War the edge. Uncharted is a good one because especially around that time that between that PS3, PS4, you know what I mean, era,
mhm,
Uncharted was like out of here, man. Like there was you couldn't say a bad thing about it without people wanting to take your head off. You know what I mean? like
right.
it's crazy like how much that game is loved. And it's good, like for a good reason. Drake's Fortune, I think is good, but I think that one might be a little overhyped. I know that's gonna start some shit, but Um, I'm not hating on Uncharted. I just sometimes I think people forget how good God of War is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that do. I think that do make sense. I mean, they've been in the game a lot longer,
Right,
so that's
right.
not unfair to say.
There we go. Levante said Drake's Uncharted would like to chat. Yeah.
That game was
Of
done really
course.
well. That franchise was done really well. But so was God of War.
He said my guy Uncharted is goated. Look, I'm not mad at Uncharted. There's a few franchises that like for example, I had somebody the other day tell me that Killzone was like one of the best franchises. And I was like, nah, I can't give it to Killzone. Like I played Killzone. I'm not mad at the game is not horrible, but we're talking about the best on the PlayStation. It's not even the best on the PlayStation 3, you know what I mean? Let alone like for
How many
Sony
games
as
do Killzone even got out?
I think it might have 2 or 3. Might have 2 or 3. It might be 3. I'm not 100% sure on that. It might be 3. Um Most said this series is the only reason why I had a PS3 and a PS4. Yeah, look, for a while, Ben, when 2K baseball stopped, I used to always say I'm getting the console for God of War, but I'll get the show as well, right? Then the show
Yeah,
came to Xbox, so that eliminated that. But God of War ain't going nowhere, so I'm always gonna have a PlayStation. Basically, is what I'm saying. Um,
that's what I did with Uncharted though. I bought PlayStation 3, 4, and 5 because of Uncharted.
I'm not mad at that. Most that person don't know what the word best means. Yo, like I said, he was a diehard Sony fan from since I ever met him, which is like 20 years ago now. So look, I get it, man. Like I'd even put SOCOM above Killzone. So like, man, yes, he likes it. I fuck with SOCOM. No,
Oh,
you
that's
know that.
crazy.
All right, yo, let's get to the next game, Wave. Next game we talking about is something that I remember Wave Mo talking about being so hyped over this game. It was good, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like that as a bad thing, but Titanfall dropped 10 years ago, March 11th, which is yesterday. 10 years ago, man. I'm gonna let you kick this one off, Wave. What's your thoughts on Titanfall?
Man, Titanfall is a really fun game, man. I think they did a really good job making that game kind of fit the world that they created, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like you could run across the walls and got like jetpacks. And if you feel overwhelmed, you could call your Titan, which is like a mech kind of machine that you jump into. And it's dope, man. The mech fights, the shoot the the shooting aspect of the game, all of it is pretty dope. I think they did a really good job uh creating this game and putting it together. I wish that they would have kind of kept going, but I don't really know what killed it, man. I don't know what killed it. What could they I really don't know what killed it, man. I wish it could have kept going because this is a really good game and a concept.
do you feel like it was meant to be one and done, or do you think that this was like because like somewhere between this and Titanfall 2, something like you said, something went horribly wrong, man? Like, do you feel like it could have just been a one and done, maybe just constant updates and DLC? Or do you think that like they just fumbled it with Titanfall 2? It should have been made as just fumbled it.
Nah, I think they. If I'm being quite honest, while you was asking me that question, like I was like really thinking about it, and I think they might have just dropped a little too early, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they came out in a time where you had to put. It wasn't no like I ain't gonna say it wasn't DLCs, but that wasn't the game back then. Like they
Right.
had to put out the next one, and it had to be better. And I think it was kind of like the same, and the maps wasn't you know, better.
Yeah,
You know
because
what I'm
I'm
saying?
looking at it now, March 2014 for Titanfall and Titanfall 2, October 2016. Even 10 years ago, that's still kind of close. You know what I mean? Unless
Yeah.
you're going for that COD every single year type thing, which that's not the case. So, like, I'm curious why they did put that out. Maybe they thought folks would forget about Titanfall and forget about the franchise. Because like this was also at a time, Wave, like you remember when Call of Duty was like falling off, like you know what I mean? Like what do we have? What's it called? Advanced Warfare. You had
Right.
Ghost, and like those are some of the low points in the COD franchise. So I'm very curious as to like why they kind of rushed it, because it wasn't just them. There was a few other franchises that kind of had an opportunity to make a wave, you know what I mean? And it just
Right.
didn't. Like, but
I think that
Titanfall
just
1
was
is
the
good though.
game. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
That was just the way it was back then. You know what I'm saying? At that time,
yeah.
I'm saying back then like it was mad long ago, but
It's
still
10 years
10
ago
years
now. Yeah.
ago, it wasn't like that. Like you was putting the games out. You wasn't like I feel like if because they kind of did it with Apex, because Apex, is the same company as this one.
Yep.
And if they would have dropped around time, maybe 5 years ago,
Right.
and if not and it wasn't Apex, they probably would have been able to just keep this game out and build on maps, make maps better. The gameplay wasn't the issue; just looked the same. That's what it was. It just looked a little bit. It looked like they turned the lights on. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit better. But it was really the same.
So one thing about Respawn specifically that I don't remember, wait, I'm be honest, but like I keep forgetting that this was their first game. This was like their debut. So part of it could just be like being young in the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Naive. But this for a first game, this is a hell of a game, man. Like,
yeah.
so
They
definitely
killed
shout
it.
out to Respawn. Obviously, like as you said, they went on to do Apex, which is obviously
Killing
out
it
of
right
here.
now.
Still. So definitely, I mean, would you be willing to take a crack at a Titanfall 3 or nah?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I could see it. I would try. I definitely would try.
Okay, cool. All right, yo. So let's get to the chat and let's see what we talking about, man. Let's see. Gamer Live looks like I could name something Killzone is better than Battlefield 2042. Oh man. All right.
I
I'll give you
agree.
that one. I'll give you that one. That's fair. That's fair. Mo said, fam, I was looking at the Facebook on this day jump off, and me and Wave was constantly talking about it on there. Like we didn't have phone numbers. That's
Say
that's
what?
hilarious.
I'm lost.
Basically what he was saying was like, you know how Facebook got the memory thing?
Yeah.
He said basically you and him kept talking about Titanfall around this time, you know what I mean? Mo also said, but this game was fire. I'd like a remaster or reboot with some extra content. I do think they need to take another crack at it if possible, or like if pass it on to somebody who can. If Gamer Live said EA made it, that's where they.
Nah, they did a good job on the first one. I ain't gonna front. The second one was
Nah.
pretty decent too. Like
Mostly, I still have game clips taking up space on my Xbox from this game. I noticed that I still got clips of games from the Xbox One era on my
nah, I
Series
didn't
X.
delete. I got a very few because some of the clips got my homeboy that passed away in it.
Okay, got you.
But besides that, I had to delete them. I was trying to make content.
Now, do you like take clips often, like still or nah? Cause like I kind of stopped a while ago.
It depends.
Okay.
I just perfect somebody yesterday 2 rounds in a row to beat them, so I clipped that.
Most I'm not opposed to a giant battle royal with Titanfall. What's your thoughts on that, Wave?
That would be dope. Halo need to do the same thing.
Not mad at that. Let's see. Mo said didn't Respawn shut down. I think if I remember correctly, I think they were technically acquired. Yeah, so they're still under EA technically, but I'm trying to think what's the term I'm trying to use for it. Basically, a lot of their team left, if that makes sense. Like a lot of the original team is not with them no more. So a lot of folks essentially said it died. But Andrew said Gundam over Titanfall. What's your thoughts on that, Wave?
That's fair. I like Gundam. That's fair.
Okay. All right, yo. So that's all we got for this week in gaming. Next week we have some more games to talk about. Let's get to these topics, man. Wave. Shout out to Daryl Miner because I remember we had this convo a few weeks ago on the show about Xbox sending some of their games over. Hellblade
Yep.
2, Wave, one of the most anticipated games that Microsoft is putting out, which will be out on May 24th, is rumored to come to the PS5. Now, that might not be rumored for a day one release. It might be like what they did with Deathloop, I think it was, where it's like came out like a year later. But yeah, so like one of the games that Xbox fans waited for 3 years, I think now 3 or 4 years now, possibly coming to the PS5. What's your thoughts on this? Is it a big deal? Is it not? I know you've kind of had this convo before about Microsoft shipping off some of their exclusive. They said it's going to be 4. We just didn't know which 4. And so far, it's looking like this is one of the 4.
This and Grounded, so right, that would be 2 of them.
That's 2, right.
So it's 2 more games. I mean, as far as this one, I'm not even really like. I don't really care. To be honest with you, like I take the show for this trade, depending on what the other 2. Like we got the show, so they could have Grounded, which we done played for years now.
Right.
And then let them I mean, I wouldn't even mind if Hellblade 2 dropped day one on PS5. I really wouldn't. PS5 probably gonna charge them $60 anyway. Or $70
70,
Yeah, they're gonna charge them $70 anyway. It ain't like they're gonna get it on Game Pass or PS Plus or whatever. You know what I mean? So
do you think Microsoft at this point, because obviously we know what their leverage point is, right? It's Call of Duty. I know there's an agreement signed, but we know our corporations get down. So Call of Duty is the leveraging point. We know that. I've seen Xbox fans calling for them to pull Call of Duty or leverage it to get the Wolverine game, right? Or something like that. Do you think Microsoft needs to be a little more aggressive, or do you think they just, at this point, whatever, they'll get the software sales or a percentage of it from selling Hellblade on the PlayStation, and they just don't care no more?
I think they just buying their time, man. I think they know, they gotta know something. They obviously get inside information on what companies is planning on doing what. And they just buying their time. Like it ain't a lot of, like, it is a few great games that's, well, I ain't gonna call it great yet. There's a few,
Right.
games that could possibly be great coming out, but it ain't nothing that, they should like jump on, you know what I mean? Pause.
Sure.
So I think they just buying their time. Should they be extra aggressive? Nah, they already acquired the biggest asset. So they just gotta, use it to get other things that we might need, like God of War. So,
That's what I'm saying. But like, do you think they will leverage it? Because that's what I'm with you. I think they should, right? I think they probably could, especially as Sony now, Jim Ryan, I think his last day is literally like next week. So like, as they go into a new regime, you know what I mean? Like this might be the time to kind of apply some pressure and might be able to get a Spider-Man successor or whatever out of it. But I also think they don't care, like you said. So I don't think they will. Do you think they will? You know what I mean?
I mean, they gotta let the lady get her feet wet first. She just walked in the door.
Yeah,
she
which is
gonna
crazy
turn around and close it.
that
You're gonna be
actually was
right
6
there,
months
like,
ago
let's
now.
make a deal.
That's kind of wild because that was 6 months ago now, which is crazy to think. Like,
Was
I
it?
remember we talked about that, like, and just like that, it was 6 months ago. I think Microsoft, man, I feel like because they keep saying we're not done with consoles. We're gonna put a new console out. The Series X and S are supposed to have an upgraded model probably next year or the year after or whatever. So they keep saying we're not done with it, but it's like everything that they do kind of lends to the fact that they might be done with it. Like we've talked about this for years now. Like every move they make seems like they're getting away from it, except for their actual words. You know what I mean? That's what is so perplexing. The other thing about this whole scenario, because I remember when the show came to Xbox, we covered that. People were pissed. PlayStation fans was pissed. How can they just download a game that we have to pay $70 for? That's not fair. Imagine if that was God of War or Spider-Man or
they might riot.
I remember when people were mad that Final Fantasy finally came out. You know what I mean? Right. So like, and that didn't even start on the PlayStation. So like, yeah, man, I think Microsoft sometimes I personally care? No, like I don't care if Hellblade goes to PlayStation. I don't care if all the Xbox games go to PlayStation because I'm going to play them regardless. If it's for Xbox, I'm probably going to play it on the Xbox because I like the controller a lot better. But at the same time, like, it doesn't really matter to me. I do understand why some Xbox fans would be upset. Be like, you have the leverage now. The biggest game that sells the most every single year, you have in-house.
But what do you expect? They've been saying since before. Remember, we started this before cloud gaming was a thing,
True.
right? When they first started teasing cloud gaming, Xbox was making it very clear they want to make their sales available on any platform that they
Right.
could, like every single platform from mobile all the way to play or Switch if they could get on there, because that was rumors at one point over the years. You know what I mean? So
I
like,
still think that that's gonna happen. By the way, I think we're gonna see Game Pass come to the Switch eventually, or whatever the new Switch is eventually. I know
yeah,
they have that 10-year deal. They didn't. We don't know what that deal is. Of course, one of them I know is Call of Duty is going to come to the Switch, but I do think we're going to see Game Pass on the Switch. I think Microsoft, if they could put Game Pass on the PlayStation, they would.
they
I don't think
would.
Sony would ever let that happen. Maybe some games here or there, but they'll never actually let that happen. That's why I'm curious about this, because Sony, at least under the regime that's about to end, their whole thing has been, we're gonna make the best exclusives, and that's how we're gonna sell consoles. Microsoft was like, okay, well, we're gonna put together a powerhouse console in the Series X, right? With actual specs, some of them that beat out the PS5, but then it's like, the actions don't really say we care about the console, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why we ended up giving the Series S. They knew some folks aren't going to pay that $500. So here's one for, was it 300, 250, something like within that range, little scale back. But if you look at them side to side, like, kind of looks the same. So
Yeah.
I've always been curious in how, like, what they're going to do with it, because their actions keep saying we're kind of getting out of the console space, except they keep saying we're not getting out of the console space at all.
I don't believe it. I think they are. I think they are. I really
Let's
do.
see the chat saying. Mo said Microsoft is still a software company at heart. Makes sense they want their games on every other console.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, because like I was just listening to a whole thing on between the battle between Apple and Microsoft that's been going on forever, right? And how they had to work together because Apple wanted Windows, not Windows, Microsoft Office on the Mac, so they had to have special code, and they've been battling back and forth or whatever. But Microsoft been saying like, "Yo, we don't care who uses our stuff." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I guess to Mo's point, they've always had that about them, which is a great point. But I think sometimes gamers are like, PlayStation can be so spiteful, and even just the way the company tweets, they can be so spiteful that some Xbox faithful is like, yo, why can't we do the same? Like, just one time, throw a shot back. You know what I mean? Hire the dude who run the Wendy's account. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just
Right.
throw a shot back. Like,
We Xbox on the hippie side of things, man. They don't care.
Facts. Levante said, any games I'm looking forward to. For me, it's the Rise of the Ronin. Yes. Also, did any of you play the Suicide Squad game? Should I wait for it to be cheap? I never played the Suicide Squad game. Wave, did you?
Nah, I watched a lot of gameplay though, just to kind of see like if I wanted to buy it, and I don't know. It don't seem like my type of game style.
Okay. Are you done with superhero games for the most part now? After we kind of got burned a few times.
Yeah, it's just they don't do them right, man. Like I think the last superhero game that was pretty decent was Batman Arkham City or Knight or whatever, which one it was. But Batman was the last one.
Is it the companies? Here's a question: is it the companies that are doing it, or do you think Batman and Spider-Man just works, right? Like, or like maybe like Superman don't work in a video game. We'll see with Wolverine, but like some of these games just don't work. Avengers don't work.
Superman could work. It's just gonna take the right company. I think it is the company, bro. Because like Avengers could work, bro. Like the Hawk. Like, come on, bro. How could that not? How did you mess that up with the Hawk?
They put it out. They put the game out right in the height. You know what I mean? Right in the height of Marvel, and it's still I don't know, man. I
Yeah,
thought what's the one? Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought that was the best one, not the best non-Spider-Man Batman game that I played in a long time. But even that still had its problem. And again, still with the same quick time events and stuff like that that we constantly say we're done with. So I feel you on that.
you want to hear the crazy thing though? That game was done kind of right because that's the way that group is. But
Right.
they did the same thing with the Hawk, Iron Man, and Thor. People that can like move around at speeds that is unheard of, and you
Right.
make them do missions that the Guardians of the Galaxy could do. Like it's not the
Got
same level.
facts. That's fair. Game of Live said eventually all games will be on consoles except Nintendo, and the selling point will be whose console pushed the game better. Yeah, Nintendo ain't letting Mario, Zelda, Pokemon go. That's like we don't even talk about that because that's the obvious, right? Um, I'd say even Sony, I don't see them letting God of War go, especially that. I really don't even see them letting something lesser like Horizon. I don't see
Right.
them letting that go either. Everything else, I think eventually, probably not Spider-Man because that is one that sells a lot. I think they're gonna keep their heavy hitters and then everything else will start to release, especially if there's new regime or open to working together, as they say. Other than that, Xbox, I think eventually Halo's gonna go to PlayStation and the Switch. I think everything they got is basically whatever. Who cares? If you want Game Pass, take Game Pass too. But I think PlayStation is going to kind of open up a little bit, and I think Nintendo's going to be like, you can have everything else, but you ain't getting Splatoon, Animal Crossing, Pokemon, Zelda, and Mario. Which at that point, what's really left, right? But
Right.
I guess we get Wario, but like, don't
I
nobody
still
want
gotta
that.
check out this Animal Crossings.
Yeah, definitely. Same here though. Game of Live says the show being free on Game Pass is wild.
It's not free. You pay a subscription.
Right, which yeah, Wave, I understand that, but because it's bundled with Xbox Live, well, what was Xbox Live, we probably have to pay that price anyway. Whereas PlayStation fans, they still have to pay the PS Plus price to play online, and they have to go
Yeah.
spend $70 for the show.
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
wild. That's
yeah.
what's wild. You feel me? Because PS Plus is already like 150. And then you still gotta pay the 70 for the new games. At least
Right,
Xbox give you some new games. At
right,
least you
right,
get
right.
some new games. And it's not, I ain't even gonna say some. You get a lot of new games on Game Pass. They just keep funneling them in. They swap them out.
Yeah, they just
So
put on. Well, actually, it's not out yet, but I think this week. Not that it matters, but 2K24 officially comes to Game Pass. The basketball. Like I know it's a little late now, but it's coming to Game Pass officially. Whereas on PlayStation, I think it's going on sale down to 30. But you
and
see my
Madden
point
been
though.
on Game Pass for a
Yeah,
couple
Madden
weeks.
comes to Game Pass in February, always. But whenever it comes to Game Pass, usually for some reason, like if you have EA access, you can play that. 2K instead just went on sale for half off. But you still have to pay, what is that with tax? $40 just about to get a game that's
Yeah.
older now, whereas we could just install it if you have an Xbox.
You get the summer to play for on Game Pass though.
Levante said, I think you mean Asylum for Batman.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the Batman games. Yo, Batman usually don't have too many bad games, man. Like again, maybe it's because of just the concept of the character, right?
Yeah.
But same with Spider-Man too. Like the concept of the characters just makes it fun. Whereas maybe Superman too powerful. You know what I mean? Like it's just so much stuff that you
I
could do.
believe so because like you would have to make planetary games for Superman.
Yeah, like kind of like a Starfield, right? Going from planet to planet. Devs are making cash grab games now, and we, the consumers, are getting burned left and right. Yeah. So we didn't talk about it this week, but the whole thing with PlayStation and some folks getting their games deleted and missing, it's just bad. It's just bad. Milton Melody was going to say Eagles all the way.
Nope.
I see they got Saquon Barkley, man. So they got Saquon Barkley.
As a Broncos fan, if we rebuilding, so obviously I'm not picking us, but I think my money on the Ravens with Henry over there.
With Derrick Henry, yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
All right,
it's
let's get to the
ugly.
next thing, Wave. Ghost Recon. Haven't heard that one in a while, huh? Ghost
Word.
Recon is in the works. They developers are promised to be dark and controversial with the game. I don't know what that means, Wave, but they basically this whole theme of they're getting back to their roots. For me, I liked it because I liked the early Ghost Recon games, right? They were
Mm.
different, challenging as hell, to be honest, but I was a big fan of them. And then they kind of went the COD way and kind of just got all over the place with it. But I think if they can do it right, go back to basics, which I think a lot of games need to do now, I think they can really make something special. Rumor is it'd be out sometime next year, if not even early 26. But that
Hmm.
dark and controversial thing, I don't know what that could mean. What topics they're going to touch? Are they going to make something up? Is it just going to be like gore as hell? What's your thoughts on this?
I'm kind of I'm excited, man. I like Ghost Recon. I think the last one I played was Wildlands. And I
Yeah.
think they did a really good job with that. So I'm excited to hear what they see what they're gonna do. And
Did you
dark
play
and
Breakpoint?
controversial. A little bit, not as
Okay.
much as Wildlands. I'm not gonna
Yeah, I
lie.
play Wildlands a lot. Like Breakpoint, it just I don't know, kind of fell. I don't know, it just didn't feel right. But Wildlands was good, man. I remember playing Wildlands. Uni died, like
Right?
in the 4-player co-op, basically online.
Yeah.
Like that's where they excel. I could definitely see it being if they kind of again take the modern day of being able to play 4 players co-op or whatever, and kind of but still get back to the basics where it's more stealth and stuff like that. I can see it being good, man. I definitely can. I definitely would give it a shot.
See, but with that game, you could choose what you want to do. It ain't like they making you stealthy all the time, not
Yeah,
get stale real quickly. You could like switch it up. Like some missions, you could. It depends on how many enemies there. You could just rush and
right.
take them out quick, or you could stealth it up.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's see what the chat is saying. Game Alive looks said the Broncos have been rebuilding since 1998.
My boy Game Alive look going for the player hater ball MVP
Right,
right now.
right. Most said never really a fan, man. Yo, you missed out on Wildlands, man. Like, 'cause I can't speak
Yeah,
for like the early franchise. It is what it is, right? Advanced Warfighter, I didn't like at all, but Wildlands I thought was really good, man. Like Wildlands,
yeah.
I think you might have liked it, Mo.
Did you do the Predator mission?
And Wildlands,
Yeah.
yeah, but not like I'm not gonna say here and say I did it like first time or nothing. If that's what you're getting at,
Nah, I don't think it's. I don't know if it's possible to do it the first time because he catch
yeah,
you off guard.
like
I think they
I
did a good job with that
feel
too.
there was a few missions on Wildlands that we played like over and over and over. And, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
because like you got to get your team. That's the one thing I appreciate about Ghost Recon games. Like you have to be on point. You know what I mean? And now if you're
Right.
playing co-op, you definitely got to be on point, or it's just you're
Yeah.
not gonna
Chaos.
right. Game Alive said in Ghost Recon they're gonna make us infiltrate ISIS. Watch. That could be it. It could be more modern. It could be more modern. I could definitely see that.
Not too much controversy in that though.
I mean, you think they touch upon what's going on in Palestine right now? Could that be it? The dark and controversial, like that. When
I
you
hope
throw those
not,
words out,
man.
right? When you throw those words out, I'm telling you right now, Wave. It can't be, dark and controversial World War II. You know what I mean? It
They
can't be Vietnam. It can't be. It can't even be like the War on Terror from last
you
2 decades
storming
ago now.
Normandy Beach, but in the dark.
Nah, they meant dark, literally, right?
At night, like SpongeBob.
Gaming Live looks said the Ukrainian war.
I hope they don't do nothing recent, man. Like that's too crazy. It just like let people grieve first. Damn, you make a video game,
Well, there's the controversial part. You know what I mean? I'm
right?
curious of what they're going to do. There's not much details out now, but definitely would keep our eye on that. Most said if it's stealth, nobody lives to tell. That's a good point. Good point. All right, yo, let's get to the spin wheel. Wave, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Appreciate y'all rocking with us on this Tuesday night.
Word.
Let's see what we got. How do you? We just had this question. We're gonna skip that for right now. Because that's when Daryl Miner said he played 50 hours, man.
Well,
Jealous.
gambling numbers out here.
More iconic, Mario or Pac-Man?
I gotta say Mario, man. I don't even know if this is like a hard question. And Pac-Man is very iconic. I just think like Mario just been doing it for a lot longer. Like Pac-Man kind of stalled over. You can't ask no kids who Pac-Man is right now. They know who it is. They don't know who
Right, but we
Pac-Man is
talking
anymore. Everybody
iconic.
know
We
Mario.
talking.
He just came out with a movie.
So we kind of talking the console versus the arcade, right? Because Pac-Man obviously is synonymous with the arcade.
I know, but how many like if we talking about like iconic? We got to talk about like standing the test of time.
Right.
That's Mario. Nobody like we still care about the arcade because we OGs in this. People that's our age, they care about the arcade. We grew up in that, but like,
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Kids got to know Pac-Man, right?
no,
You
no,
telling me kids don't know, like, they don't know Pac-Man?
bro, you have a kid. Do your kid know who Pac-Man is?
Yes.
Over Mario?
I'm not saying
You
over
put
Mario, but she knows Pac-Man. Like, because
yeah,
like
more
when
Mario's
for
more
example,
iconic.
like we went to Dave and Buster's, right? And like I don't have Pac-Man in the house, so it's not like I'm like, oh, that's Pac-Man. Let me put you on. Da 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 da. We went to Dave and Buster's. You know, they got that big ass Pac-Man game where like 5 people can play. She's like, oh, look, it's Pac-Man, and I'm like, you know what I mean? So like,
See, but that reaction would have been different if it was Mario.
right. I mean, but Mario's still in your face though. Like you can't escape. Go to Walmart right now, video game section. There's a big ass thing right now, Princess Peach, and obviously that's synonymous with Mario. So Mario's more in the face, but I can see how Pac-Man is more iconic, man.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
I mean, I'm still going
Mario,
with Mario, but like I definitely think it's kind of close though. I really do.
I don't think so. I think it's not close.
Didn't Pac-Man have a
Mario's like
movie?
Michael Jackson.
Didn't Pac-Man have a movie?
Yes, nobody gave a damn.
Yo,
Everybody packed out Mario shit. He had to make a number 2.
Pac-Man did it first, right? Like,
Yeah, Pac-Man is definitely an iconic character in the gaming world, but Mario is just more iconic.
that's fair. That's
You
fair.
think
That's
of
fair.
Nintendo, you think of Mario. What can you do that with Pac-Man? You think of arcade, you may think Mario. I mean, you may think Pac-Man. You may think Living Night of the Living Dead. You may think Dance Revolution.
Right.
Like when you think of Nintendo, you think Mario first, more than likely.
All right. Let's see what the chat's saying. I'm sure most are gonna be on your side, but let's see. Let's see. Jess said Mario. Daryl said Mario. Game Reliable said more iconic to me is Wade taking. Yo, that's crazy. Mo said this is insulting. Insulting is crazy.
Yeah, I told you, bro.
Pac-Man joint Smash, Mario and Vanish Smash.
It was Mario, Yoshi, Donkey Kong. Who else was it? Who was the last one in the commercial? Sonic. No, it wasn't Sonic. Was it Sonic? Pikachu.
Mario is iconic as a character and franchise. Pac-Man is iconic in terms of inspiring that type of gameplay. Pac-Man type maps show up everywhere. Yeah, I mean I get that, and I just think like Pac-Man. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not mad with Mario, but
because it's Mario.
Ain't no discussion, man. Yeah,
you bring it back.
Said nah, for real, it's Mario. It's not even close. All right, so I guess I'm tripping then. Okay, maybe I'm just a historian then. Nah, Pac-Man is a triple OG of gaming. Mario is the face of gaming. Okay, I'm not mad at that. So I guess that's kind of like Wilt Chamberlain versus Jordan, right? Like Jordan is the face of basketball still till this day, but you know what I mean, was dominant in his time. All right, that's fair. That's
It's a
fair.
good analogy.
As long as y'all ain't saying Bob Cousy or nothing, man. Sounds about
Cousy Hall of Fame.
He is though. He is though. What can make NBA 2K good again, Wave? Besides stop making it, quote unquote. I know I'm sure somebody in chat gonna say that.
Nothing, man. I think they too far gone in this microtransaction game, bro. That's all they care about.
Because I think we're at the point NBA Live ain't coming back. I think they'll make NBA Streets, Fight Night, all types of stuff would come back before Live. And yes, I know Live came back in what, 2018, 19, something like that.
Yeah, they made a couple.
I don't think it's gonna be back though. Do you think there's a way, or do you think we're gonna have to see eventually some major competitor come to make it good again?
Yeah, I think competition is always good, man. In those times where they made Live for those couple of years, 2K was pretty decent, but Live was better, man. Be honest with you, Live was like Live 2000 and I think it was Live 19 or 18. One of those was better than 2K at the time. I don't even know if that's a hot take. It was just the real. The dribbling was a lot smoother to the shot. You know, it was just a lot smoother gameplay. It may have not looked as good, but it played better. And, you know, when it comes to sports games, we really paying for the rookie class. So at least make the gameplay good. You know what I'm saying?
Now, that's a good point, because one thing Live has always been elite with is like the dribbling, the crossovers that you could do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the way you could lose somebody on the court. I think Live has always been elite in. Honestly, Wave, I think, to be honest, I think they can go the WWE 2K route, which is take a year off. Take a year off. That's revenue that they ain't gonna get, because 2K sells what a year? What would you say? Like, I don't even know, to be honest.
They sell millions of copies.
Right. So yeah, that's millions of dollars that they're not gonna make for 1 year. You know what I mean? But they can really go back to the drawing board. And it's not like they gotta really do anything crazy. Like, they sell on average like 10 million a year, right? So think about the money they're gonna miss, right? But at the same time, they could take that time to revamp, listen to the community. I know they have the 2K Next Makers program, which are basically a bunch of influencers who play the game. They ask for their input. I do think we need to take a step away from my player, not in terms of like getting rid of it, but like that mode is already solid. Like, people already play that mode. They got to find a way of how to make the game all encompassing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know, man. I think a year off can do them good, man. I don't think it's that drastic where it's like, okay, like the way I felt about COD in 2014, like I said, I didn't feel about 2K ever, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's horrible. I think they just gotta basically stop being lazy. And same with Madden. I think both of them take a year off. That next game they put out could be strong.
See, but I think they put themselves in a position, like especially 2K, where you know they gotta do it yearly because now the players is invested in what 2K gonna rate them. So like if they miss a whole year of that could be devastating to their brand. You know what I'm saying? Because that whole class is gonna miss being, you know, getting to see their rating, and like that became a part of the basketball culture. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Gamer Leveler said making live. See, the competition thing. Like Madden, if there's no competition, we continue to get shitty games. Same with 2K, no comp, get what we give and we like it. Yeah, I'm not, COD's doing the same thing, so I'm not mad at that. Most said get rid of microtransactions. It basically pay to win. Fact. I mean, so basically, it's gonna be basically like stop being greedy is what I'm getting. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
keep a real partner, give to the needy.
Right. Shout out to X. Daryl said they need competition. I don't think EA can make a live game within the next 3 years. 3 separate games that could put any pressure on 2K. I don't think they could. Like, I think the difference is we seen live a few years ago, and even before that, we saw live 10 years ago.
Mhm.
Before that, football is a little different because ESPN 2K5 was so heralded, and then that's the last one we got. You know what I mean? And that was 20 years ago now. This summer it'll be 20 years.
This
But yeah,
college football could put the pressure on Madden, though.
yeah, because that's a great point. Because like I said 2 weeks ago, if that game come out and it has the presentation that fans been asking for years, and Madden 25 doesn't, that's gonna be wild. That's gonna be
Yeah,
wild.
I can see them putting the pressure on them because so many people anticipating to see. That's the power of social media, and that could help live possibly if they roll out right. You know what I'm saying? They can use social media, TikTok, all these other places to use some of the smaller creators that still got hundreds of thousands of followers and have
Right.
them, push that live. Push that live. They could do it. It's possible to put that pressure on. They just gotta market correctly. You know what I'm saying?
To Gamer Live looks point, I guess. Do you think because it's the same company, it's like that's not the real competition, or do you think because it's still EA, but
I mean, yeah, but I guess you could look at it like Call of Duty, with the two different companies are making the same game, I mean,
sure,
even though they're under the same umbrella, they probably still gonna kind of compete, unless
I
it's
feel
the
you.
same exact people.
Right, I feel you.
If it's not, they could.
All right, so let's get to the next one. Let's get one more, and then we'll get out of here. Appreciate y'all as always. We had this one already. Wave all time favorite.
Video game, yeah, I believe we did name that.
All right. What game are you most looking forward to in 2024?
Hmm. I guess I can't say a game, but probably a DLC that
For
um oh crap. Elden
Elden
Ring.
Ring?
Yeah, that
Okay.
Elden Ring DLC. I just saw that. I think that's the one I'm anticipating right now.
I mean, I gotta say Hellblade 2, right? Because I've been
Yeah.
harping on that game. I've been like taking shots at Microsoft since 2020, man, when they first announced it. Um, I agree. The Elden Ring DLC do look like really good. Like again, that's how you do that. You know what I mean? Like other companies should take notes, at least for the rollout. We'll see how it actually plays, but I doubt it's gonna be a problem with it. But
Yeah.
Hellblade, I've been waiting on this game for 3 years now. So that's definitely that's day one like pre-install, you know what I mean? Um, that's definitely number one. Number two, I'm very hyped to see the South Park game that's out in a few weeks. 2 weeks. Actually, I want to play that. City Skylines 2. I don't know when that's going to be out for console. So like I'm still waiting on that. I don't know when that's out. Um, I think it's supposed to drop, I don't know, like a few months ago, I think. But that's really me, like those three. Do you have anything else besides the Elden Ring?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I haven't really been paying attention to too much that's coming out uh throughout the years. Throughout the year. I just saw that DLC and that just caught all of my attention. Like I'm not even thinking about any other game until after I play that. To be honest with you.
All right. Who's gonna be on the cover of 2K25, and will it be Allen Iverson for the 25th anniversary?
Can it be anybody else besides? I don't know. 25. I don't know nobody with that number, man. I don't know. I can't think of no 25s.
Okay.
Uh,
When Wemby,
maybe Victor Wembanyama.
yeah, I was saying Wemby, Anthony Edwards. I'm trying to think of the young guns. You know what I mean? Um, Damn, I'm trying to think. Wembanyama.
Iverson deserve it though. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
He carried
he's
2K
my.
in the beginning when nobody ain't care.
But you know how it goes. So they'll probably put him on what $100 one, $120 one, and probably go with a young star. I think probably like who's killing right now in the NBA. Who's young?
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards is a good one.
He dogging.
Probably would have been Ja, right?
Yeah.
But put him on there with two pistols, like. Let's see. Just said Hellblade.
He hurt right now though.
He is, yeah. He's out for the year, right?
Yeah.
Daryl Minus said Elden Ring DLC look tough. It does. It does.
Right,
Again. That's how you roll
crazy.
out DLC, man. Mo said Cities Skylines 2 for console. If it ever drops, it's already 6 months late. So it's more than I even thought. Damn. I thought it was just a few months. 6 months is crazy. Can't give. I don't even know what's coming out this year. Maybe we'll cover that next week, Wave. Just like a rundown of games that will be out next year. I'm sure there's a list out there that I can find.
Yeah, that'll give me some type of insight on what to anticipate.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. We'll talk about that next week. So come back next week. Give me a live look. We'll stream Battlefield 2042 as well. Says that would be dope. He started off at 2K. Yeah, that'd be my pick. But I know just like with Kobe when they put him on the what was that deluxe edition or whatever this past year, I could see them doing that. So,
but his number was 24. It was just like fitting. It was perfect timing.
Right.
There's no 25 that I could think of that's popping.
Mo said John wanted to literally shoot off the charts.
Right.
Game of Live Look said you're welcome. I hear writing your shot.
we appreciate you for helping us write the show.
Yo, that's crazy.
Trying to get that scripted as the NFL.
Let's see. NBA players who wear number 25.
Ain't nobody nice wearing 25.
Vince Carter, Ben Simmons, and Mark Price.
The point exactly. Vince Carter retired. Vince Carter probably could do it. Mark Price was on a 2K cover, wasn't he?
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Vince Carter is like remembered for 15 though.
Malik Beasley.
It would look weird. It would be nah. Nobody's copping a 2K with Malik Beasley on the front. And it would be weird to see Vince Carter wearing 15 on 2K. Like, I mean 25. He 15.
Right.
He's 15.
Yeah, I'm looking at a list right now, and I don't see anybody who would be on the cover of the damn game.
They already did a Legends edition, so I can't see Mark Price.
Yeah, Chandler Parsons.
Bruh. He's
so
probably
far
retired right now. There's no
Doc
way.
Rivers. Derrick Rose.
And Derrick Rose, we don't know Derrick Rose. That was like in high school. He's number 1 in NBA, though.
Yeah. That's a good point. Well, that's a problem for next week. Let's see. He said, I'm a better commissioner. Trust me. Mo said they got to save Vince Carter for when they revamp the dunk contest. That's a good point.
They're going to do that when LeBron is a part of it.
Which is never. So, Game of Life said you don't need a number 25 player. You need dual rookies like Victor and Chet.
That's sad.
Think about that.
Nah. You need one or the other. You got to be Victor. Victor been going crazy in the league.
He has been.
You got to be Wembanyama.
Or
Luka or Anthony Edwards.
Maybe they do LeBron James again for his farewell tour.
LeBron is not retiring to Bryce play. That's his second sign.
Yeah, right. You know what? We're gonna say that. We're gonna say that. Yeah, that's all we got for this week's show. Y'all appreciate it. Y'all as always. We'll be back next week as always on Tuesday, 9:05. Wave, take it away, bro.
Hey man, we appreciate everybody for coming through, the likers, the lurkers, the supporters, the sharers. Any way you helped us, we appreciate it, man. You have a good week, and we'll see you on Tuesday, 9:05. Peace.
We out. Peace.